Hey guys, it's Tina with Picture It Profit and Financial Coaching, and today I want to share with you 3 things I wish I knew before I started as a financial coach. Let me start by saying that financial coaching is literally the best business that I could have started for myself. It pulls together my natural talents, which are my ability to listen deeply, my love for people, and my love of numbers and spreadsheets. If you are like this, don't let anything I say be a detraction to you wanting to move forward with financial coaching, because if you're like me, it's probably going to be some of the most rewarding work that you will ever do. Financial coaching is about helping people through hard things emotionally. I say it all the time, it's never really about the money. It's about managing your mind and dealing with what's going on there. When I started, I had these plans. It's like, we're going to talk about this in session 1, we're going to talk about this in session 2, and I had this entire program mapped out. And listen, that was a wonderful tool to me, and I'm absolutely for defining what your program is, because maybe you will get that one fluke client where it's like they just need the information and they don't have the time to go find the information on their own. But for the vast majority of people, it's not an information problem. Everything that I teach in my program is accessible through books, through YouTube videos. As a matter of fact, if you look at the earlier part of my YouTube channel, it's me answering all of these questions. Like, everything I can teach you how to do is already on my YouTube channel. So it's not a problem of do they have the info, it's a problem of why are they not acting on the info. You will have the greatest success as a financial coach if you're willing to ask people the uncomfortable questions, and if you're willing to go into the dark places, because people who need help, what they really need is for somebody to go into those places with them, walk with them, and bring light to it, right? And you have to do it without judgment or condemnation. I have helped people through loss of a spouse. I've helped them through divorce. I've helped them through sickness of children. I have helped them through job loss. I have helped them through just, you name a problem, and we have dealt with it. And so when I'm working with them as a financial coach, like, we'll start with talking about the money, but there's no shame in me seeing how you spend your money, because I know the way you spend your money and the way you're mismanaging your money is a symptom of something else. And my job is to help those people figure out, what is it a symptom of? What is the real problem that needs to be fixed? The more people I work with, the more and more and more evident this becomes to me, right? It's not about, can you make money? It's about, do you have the confidence to ask what you're worth? It's not about, do you spend too much? It's about, why are you treating the things you buy as a status symbol for your life? Why do you care that much what other people find? And frankly, in the end, almost always, it's an insecurity thing. I think if you go deep enough with people, you will always find out that the thing they're the most afraid of is dying poor, alone, and in pain, right? That's everybody's deepest fear. Nobody wants to be poor, nobody wants to be alone, and nobody wants to be in pain. If you can help people figure out which of those fears is subverting their goals for the future, then you can help them come up with actionable steps that they can take, yes, to improve their money, but also to improve the way that they think about themselves, about their relationships, about what they want from the future, and about what they're worth. That's what you need to figure out. And the sooner you can recognize that and get to those answers, the sooner you will give them the paradigm shifts they need to be able to do what they really want to do with their lives and with their money. And I have to tell you, it is the most rewarding work on this planet for me. And if you're a kindred spirit, it will be for you too. So don't be detracted by that. Just learn how to navigate that well and take classes, listen to other people getting coached. Like, the more that you can delve into that, and the more that you can explore that, and the more that you can experience it. Like, I have a coach, I've got multiple coaches I've worked with over the years, and they have forced me to look at myself in a new way and deal with the things that I resist dealing with. And I'm a better person for it. Like I said, you can have the most beautiful plan, you can have the best budget sheets, you can have whatever, but not everybody's gonna wanna use it. I have given up on the notion that I have the perfect budget for you. I love the cash flow budget, is what I call it. I have videos on how to do it. Also, if you are part of Financial Coach Academy, it's also called the Plan Ahead Method. They have the same sort of thing set up. I think theirs looks a little different from mine, but that's the way that I like to do it, because there's a forecasting element. I have had so many clients be like, I'm never gonna keep this up. Like, I'm only doing it now because I know I'm meeting with you in a couple of weeks, but as soon as we stop working together, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And I appreciate their honesty. So I have that as an option. I show it to people, but really I approach people now with like, hey, there's 3 different types of budgeting that exist, right? There's the cash flow method, which is my personal favorite. We'll teach you how to do it. There's also the zero-based budgets, right? This would be like YNAB and EveryDollar and Monarch Money and all of these different apps that pretty much make you assign out all of your money in a given month. And then there's the last one, which I call the budget template. And in this one, it is really about, hey, what are your core things that you have to pay out of each pay period? And if we can just make sure that those things are always covered, then you have extra money in the account that's cushioned and you can kind of flub with that, right? That one really only works for people who are not in financial distress or for people who have a large amount of discretionary income, which frankly happens to be a lot of my clients. I work mostly with people who are making $100,000 to $250,000 a year, a few people even above that, which again, is why I tell people it's not about the money, because I work with people who make really good money and they still are living paycheck to paycheck and drowning in debt. So it just goes to show you that you got to get point 1, figure out what the real problem is. It's the most important thing in this video. And then step 2, recognize that you're going to have to find the tool that works for your client. So at this point, I almost always start by saying, is there a tool that you've ever used that you used consistently? If there is, like if they used to love YNAB and they just fell off, I'm like, let's go back to YNAB. Because history is a great indicator of what you're going to be capable of going forward. So if they've had a tool that's worked for them in the past, by all means, let's leverage that. It's already familiar to them. You don't have a steep learning curve. You as the coach might have to learn it. Like I've had to learn a few apps. I've had to learn Rocket Money. I've had to learn YNAB. I've had to learn EveryDollar. I've had to learn Monarch Money. And yes, I have paid for the personal subscriptions and put my own info in there so that I could get the feel of it. That's a cost of being in business, right? So that's just something that I pay for out of my operating expense account. Do I want to have 5 different budgeting apps? No, I don't. I love the cash flow forecast. That's what I use. But I'm willing to explore those things for the sake of my clients. Consider that, right? It's not a one size fits all. You need to have some flexibility to serve people where they're at. Okay, and then the last thing that I really want to drill in, and I talk about this with every single prospective coach that comes to me and wants my insight, and I let them know like there's 2 types of coaches. There's people who coach a process, and there's people who coach people, right? There's process coaches and people coaches. And it reminds me of when I was, so my undergraduate degree was in physics and astronomy, and I won't go into the whole story of why I didn't pursue that career, but I will tell you at one point I was working on a secondary degree, not my master's that I got years later. This was even before that. And I was talking to a professor and I said to him like, hey, I think I might want to become like a high school math teacher. Like I feel like that could be a good path for me. I've got an aptitude here. And I was pretty, like most people in their early 20s, I was self-obsessed and I just cared about what I cared about. And I wasn't really a very good people person. I was a people pleaser, but I was not a good people person. There's a difference there. And he said to me, listen, Tina, would you be teaching the subject or would you be teaching the pupils? Like, are you the person who teaches physics and math? Or are you the person who teaches 10, 11th and 12th graders? Like, who are you? Which one are you teaching? And I realized I would be teaching physics and math. Like I can't say that I would want to spend too much time with 10th, 11th and 12th graders, right? And so he told me very candidly, then don't do it. It's an unforgiving job. It's getting harder and harder. You're not going to get the respect you deserve and you're not going to make a lot of money. So unless you're going into it because you love the students and you love to teach people, it's not a good fit. And you know what? Thank God for that advice. And here I am 25-ish years later, maybe 20 years later, and I realize exactly what he means. And now I'm a place where I've had enough life experiences that I do just really care about people. My heart has changed. It's softened over the years. And it's less about what do I want and more about how can I serve. And so when I coach people, yes, I have my program mapped out. Yes, I have tools that I can recommend. But this is part of why I'm not a Ramsey preferred coach. Like I don't just want to coach the baby steps. I don't believe that the baby steps are right for everyone because I believe you coach the person, right? I want to figure out what's going on with that person. What is the tool that will work best for them? And then in coaching that person well, we both have greater success and we're happier. Like everybody's happier because you're not trying to shoehorn somebody into something. Instead, you're trying to open them up to what's really going on here. So if I was starting all over again, I think that I would be less worried about getting certifications from Financial Coach Master Training or Financial Coach Academy, which are both wonderful. Like, they have their benefits and they have their places. And I do think that getting a certification can do wonderful things for your own confidence and your own credibility, right? You need to build that up in you as well to be able to put yourself out there authentically. But I wish I had learned earlier on. Like, I look back at some of those early sessions and I'm just like, I wish I could go back to those people and be like, I didn't serve you well enough. I'm sorry, come back. Those are the 3 core things that if I had known that going in, it's not like any of that would have deterred me from becoming a financial coach, but it certainly would have made me a better financial coach and a more impactful financial coach much, much earlier. So I created something called the Financial Coach Kickstarter. It is like the 4 or 5 exercises I use that help me get really clear about what my offer is and how I want to price it and how many times I'm willing to go out and talk to people and how I can make myself visible. This was the stuff that was the most helpful for me to make my first $25,000. And then after that, I started paying for more intensive coaching with individual coaches. If you're interested in that, I will have the link in the description box. Otherwise, I'm excited for you guys on this journey because it is really rewarding. And I don't think there's enough people out there doing this kind of work with an authentic and genuine heart. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.